Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our class for today. So before we start our class, let's have an attendance. Class Mayor, can you check the attendance for me? Okay, thank you so much. So, now, are you ready for our class discussion? No? Even if you are not, we are going to start. So, we are going to start our discussion with a motivational activity or awareness. This awareness is called Connect Me. Now, here's the thing. Whoever got the highest score in our class today will receive a reward. I will only choose 3 students who eagerly participate for today's class. Now, is everyone ready? Very good. Now, here's the direction for the activity. You will be shown 3 different pictures that each correspond to a specific word. Then, you are going to connect those words in order to form a new word. So, those can guess the correct answer will be given 10 points. I know some of the students here are familiar with this game if you watch the Showtime. Yes, it's a game from Showtime. Now, are you ready? Okay, let's start. Here is the first picture. Okay, what do you think is this? Everyone, there's a prince, apples, and a sea. What is this? Yes? Yes, principles. Very good. Next picture. State your name. Assessment. Let's see if it is assessment. It's correct. Assessment. How about this last picture? What do you think of this? What do you think is this? Learning. Learning is also correct. So we have gathered the word principles, assessment, and learning. Now let's proceed to our another activity. Yes, we have another activity. This is called Arrange Me. So you only need to arrange the scrambled letters to form a word. Did you get it? This is a very common game. I know everyone knows about it. So here is the first picture. What do you think is this? Okay, I will give you a hint. First letter is A. It's A, letter A. What do you think is this? Authentic is correct. Okay, let's proceed to the next picture. Okay, another hint for this one. C. The first letter is C. State your name, everyone. Very good. Comprehensive. Last picture. I don't think you will need a hint for this one. Yes, holistic. Holistic is correct. Very good. Let's have a virtual clap for everyone. Okay, we have also gathered the word holistic, comprehensive, and authentic. Now, here is the question. What do you think is the connection between these words in the assessment? And why we should have a set of principles for assessing learning? So that's the questions for today class. So that will be answered in our class for today. So if you have observed, our class for today is about the principles in assessing learning. So here is our objectives. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to recognize the principles in assessing learning and select 5 core principles and explain them in relation to your experience. So that's our objectives. Now let's go to the main part of our discussion. Okay. Principles in assessing learning. These principles are really a great help for teachers and for future teachers like us in order to assess our students in the right way or in a correct manner. These are also guidelines to ensure that a test is useful, appropriate, effective, and plausible. These principles are crucial to be taken into consideration because assessment is an important aspect of educational process which determines the level of accomplishment of the students. So to tackle the first principles, let me call Teacher Arayan to discuss about it.
Good day, everyone. Today, our discussion is all about the principles in assessing learning. And on behalf of my report, I will tackle the 4 principles in assessing learning. Assessment number 1. Assessment should have a clear purpose. Assessment practices should have a clear purpose that supports teaching and learning. Assessments must clearly match the content, the nature of thinking, and the skill taught in the class. The focus of assessment is practices whenever summative, interim, or formative in nature to support student learning. As a result, a clear purpose related to student learning enhances the effectiveness of an assessment process. The purposes of it is to practice may range from obtaining diagnostic information at the start of instructional to determining student growth to be reported at the end of the instructional period. For example, number 1, providing evidence of learning to inform instructional decision and practice. Number 2, providing immediate feedback on current learning or a target to student. Number 3, engaging student in self-assessment to develop an understanding of their own learning. Number 2, assessment is not the end itself. It's not end in itself but a vehicle for educational improvement. It is effective practice then begins with an exact vision of a kind of learning we most value for students and strive to help them achieve. Educational value should drive not only what we choose to assess but also how we do so. Number 3, assessment is ongoing, continuous, and formative process. Teachers who utilize regular, ongoing formative assessment in their classroom find that the students' engagement and learning increases. Teachers are able to use the data generated from formative assessment to drive instructional changes for both whole group and individual instruction. It means that students find value in assessment in that they always know where they stand and they increasingly aware of their own strength and weaknesses. Through this, it is easy to create, easy to take, and easy to score, and easy to use the result of their improvement. Number 4, assessment is learner-centered. Teacher use student grouping and authentic learning experience to make learning interactive and engaging. Learning environment is calm, open, and welcoming, encouraging the student to take chance and participate actively in learning. Teachers write lesson plans, but they are flexible and easily adjusted to accommodate students' needs. So, assessment is a learner-centered classroom shift the focus from being measures of grading to helping teachers understand and create lessons based on their specific needs. The goal for both students is for them to learn, to build on the skills and knowledge they already have, and to help each of them make progress in their knowledge. It measures what and how well the students have learned at the end of instruction.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Arayan. So next to that is that assessment is both process and product oriented. Yes, assessment consider the equal importance of process and product crafted, which is the products that made by the students. Process, this refers to the performance of the children, like the role play, the dance activity, or any activity that you gave them. And product means the submitted outputs, the finished product of their task that will serve as the evidence of their learning. Did you get it? Okay, so next is that assessment must be comprehensive and holistic. So meaning to say, when you give an assessment, you do not just consider one particular aspect of the child. Dapat ay holistic siya, meaning, ika-cover mo lahat ng aspect niya, hindi lang sa kung saan magaling yung bata, pati na rin sa ibang pamamaraan. Dapat makandak mo siya sa assessment mo because if it is comprehensive and holistic, it will end a results that really represent the learning of the students. Kahit ano pang form or any kind of questions you will conduct, the results will still be the same if it is really a comprehensive and holistic assessment. So next, assessment requires the use of appropriate measures. Okay, when conducting assessment, especially papers like summative tests or exams, dapat your test should be valid. Your test should be reliable, kasaligan, and dili bias. Because there are some teachers na magbibigay ng test questions na makakasabi ang mga students na hindi nila na-tackle yun or hindi nila na-discuss yun. So something is wrong with your tool. Something's wrong with your test paper. And that violates these principles, which is the assessment should requires the use of appropriate measures. Lastly, assessment should be as authentic as possible. Okay, when considering how to assess student learnings in a course, most instructors will agree that the ideal assessment would be the one that not only assesses students' learning, it also teaches students and improve their skills and understanding of course content. So one fundamental aspect of such assessments is that they are authentic. So if possible, we should always use authentic assessment or realistic assessment for us to gather or for us to obtain authentic results, for us to obtain real grades, for us to obtain real information about the student's learning. So that's the last principles of assessment. So given the importance of assessment for student learning, it is important to consider how to best measure the learning that you want your students to achieve. Assessment should integrate learning, grading, and motivation for your students. Well-designed assessment methods provide valuable information about the students' learning. They tell us what students learn, how they learn it, and where they struggle. And that's it for our discussion for today. And I hope you are able to recognize and remember the principles and assessing learning. So, I will post your activity later. Just check our classroom platform anytime this day, okay? Very good. So, thank you for today for participating. God bless you and goodbye. Thank you.